Hi guys, it's Webby. Welcome back to another video. Today we are filming episode 6 of Hot Hatch Heroes. And as you can see behind me, we have got a 2020 Volkswagen Golf GTi. First of all, just want to say a big thanks to the guys at Berwick Volkswagen for lending me the car for the weekend. So huge thanks to them. So what we'll do, we'll have a look around the car on the outside, a bit of a look at the inside, and then take it for a drive. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's have a look around the outside of the Golf GTi just to begin with. Looking at the front styling of the car, you can see this is a little bit different than your regular Golf, other than the fact that it's got a GTi badge on the front. The lower front bumper is different design. You've got a bigger intercooler, obviously for the turbocharger. You've got that nice iconic red line that goes all the way across the front of the grille and into the headlights. That's something they've taken obviously from the original Golf GTi, which is quite nice actually. It's sort of a classic cube way back to when the Golf GTi first came out. So that's quite nice. Under the bonnet, as you probably already know, a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It now develops 180 kilowatt, 370 newton meters of torque, and is mated to a 7-speed dual clutch DSG gearbox. So styling, other than the front bumper, as we come around the car, we've also got the lower side skirts there, which run obviously front to back. This particular car sits on 19-inch Brescia alloy wheels, which are an upgrade as part of what they call the Sound and Vision pack. Otherwise you'd normally get 18-inch alloys as standard. You've got the nice little GTi badge just there on the front wing, obviously one on the other side. So as you can see, it's actually quite a good looking car. It's not one of these that's got lots of big spoilers and wings and bits and pieces, so it's fairly discreet, typical sort of Volkswagen fashion, I suppose. Coming around to the back, we've got another GTi badge there just on the boot lid, and then looking further down, slightly different rear diffuser, and then the iconic twin tailpipes of the GTi. So it is quite subtle, as I say. There's not heaps of layering stuff going on, and it looks quite classy in this grey finish as well. You can get obviously other colours, sort of bright red and sort of something a little bit more vibrant if you fancy that type of thing, but I think it actually looks quite nice in this grey. So we're now going to have a look on the inside of the car. Keyless entry is standard on the GTi, as you'd probably expect of a car of this type. Now this car has also got the luxury pack on it, so we get a full leather interior, and we also get the glass panoramic sunroof as well. So this is fully optioned, this car. The other nice thing about the leather interior, it's actually good leather. It smells like leather as well, not like some cars where it looks like leather but doesn't really smell like leather. So yeah, you think, is it actually leather? So we also get electric operation of the driver's seat with 3 memory positions as well, which is not something you kind of normally expect of a car costing this sort of money in this type of class. So that's quite a nice little touch. You've now got the full digital display there instead of sort of the manual dials, and then over there you've got the huge big sat-nav screen, which is same as the one in the Golf R that I did the video of recently as well. Other than that, it's kind of fairly standard sort of Golf inside. There are a few more features which I'll point out in a second. We'll have a look in the back as well. Obviously the leather carries through to the back. Nice decent amount of space in the rear passengers as well, and you've got rear air vents, so the air conditioning comes through to the rear cabin, which is obviously good for passengers sitting in the back. So as well as having the keyless entry, we've got the push button start as well. So just foot on the brake, push the button, brings everything into life. So as you can see, that really nice digital instrument cluster there in front of the driver. And so then we've got this really nice 9.2-inch display for the navigation system. So that also comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. which is kind of fairly standard for most cars these days. Coming down, you've got your climate control and heated seat buttons in there. Then with the gear stick, you've got things like your driving modes, so your comfort, sport, economical, that type of thing. The button to turn off the stop-start system. We can then turn off the traction control there. This one allows you to turn off the parking sensor, so just use the camera. Then we've also got the semi-active park assist as well, because the newer models now are sort of fully loaded with all the standard equipment. Some of which is actually operated by the buttons on the steering wheel. So over here we've got the adaptive cruise control buttons. This one at the bottom allows you to change the preferences and settings for your driver safety sort of systems. And these buttons over here on this side of the steering wheel allow you to customise and operate the features of the digital display in front of the driver. It's all nice and easy to use. Once you've got the hang of it, it's not too complicated really. Alright, let's go for a drive and yeah, have a bit of fun. Not quite sure where this road goes, but that's alright. That's part of the fun, part of the journey. So the updated engine for this year, I say updated, it's still a 2 litre turbo 4-cylinder. Now with this 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, but it's been upgraded to 180 kilowatt and 317 newton meters of torque, which isn't the most powerful engine in its class. There's things like the Focus ST that's just come out. It's got 206 kilowatt, 420 newton meters, but it's not necessarily always about how much power you've got, it's how you deploy it. And the 7-speed dual clutch works really well. The only downside to me for this kind of new gearbox, because of this whole WLTP that I was talking about earlier, is they've done away with like the exhaust farts, that they call them, the DSG farts. So yeah, so when it changes gear, you don't get the sort of like the kickback and the burbles from the exhaust, which kind of takes a bit of character out of the car, in my opinion. Yeah, I actually think it sort of I've always been part of a GTi. The gearbox works really well. There's nothing wrong with how it performs. Yeah, there's definitely no problems with the way it drives and picks up and yeah, it gets going. But it's very quiet. Which is a shame, because like I say, it's taken some of the character away from the car, but nothing that a decent exhaust wouldn't change. So since the Mark 7 came out, all GTIs have had the dynamic chassis control. So when you change from like normal to sport, comfort, etc., it adjusts things like your suspension, accelerator response, weight of the steering, that type of thing. It does make a big difference. You've got different settings which give you sort of fixed options for each mode. But then you can also have an individual mode where you can actually tailor things to yourself as well. So you could have comfort steering, hard suspension, and most responsive accelerator pedal. So you can like mix and match it to whatever you want it to be, which I do like. I think it's nice that you can tailor everything to how you want it to be, rather than some cars where you put it in sports mode, that's what you get, no kind of options for changing anything else. I was saying earlier how this is the perfect daily driver, and I really think that's the case, because you know, here we are having a bit of fun on some country roads, but it's equally at home, sat on the freeway, you know, churning up the kilometres or the miles on your daily commute. So it does make sort of like the perfect every situation car. Yeah, there are hot hatches out there that are quicker, ones that maybe handle a bit more sharply, but as an overall package, that a car that does everything well, yeah, it's pretty hard to look past a Golf GTi. Yeah, it is one of those sort of rare cars that does absolutely everything really well. And this 2020 model, they get a limited slip differential as well, albeit electronic, but yeah, it's very, very effective. You come out of a tight corner and put your foot down and yeah, it just drags you out of the corner. It's really cool. So there we go, that's the video of the 2020 Volkswagen Golf GTi. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, which will let you know when more videos get uploaded. Again, a big thanks to the guys at Berwick Volkswagen for lending me the car for the weekend. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.